Hello, namaste, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I'm your host, Nagesh Deshpande. Uh, we are bringing another episode of Talks with Deshpande ji. And today we have one more guest, a special guest, and we are going to talk about Agile and test automation bridging the gap. So today's guest is a head of QA and automation at Pratham Softwares. Uh, Experienced and motivated professional with a strong focus on achieving results. So I'm talking about Rohit Mehta, uh, experience near of 2 decades, and he has successfully transformed software quality and assurance into quality engineering while implementing test automation, functional and non-functional both. His expertise in DevOps and Agile practices is well renowned. Uh, so talking about Rohit, I met him at one of the conferences where we got introduced to each other, and then we become very close connection. So let's welcome Rohit. Hi Rohit.
Hi Nagesh, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I am fine.
Yeah,
So it's long.
yeah, almost a year now. Yeah, we met
Yeah,
it at GTR. So, in my previous video also I mentioned about GTR. So GTR is happening this year again. So if you are interested, let's get connected. We'll share more details about GTR. What is GTR? What happens at GTR? And how people get connected at GTR. So, how is your weekend going, Rohit?
yeah, it's fantastic so far. After a long week of work and a lot of load of work, we got a weekend to chill out, right? And
Right, right.
after that, also, like if you have, like we have a podcast with you, Deshpande ji, it will make more, you can say, more interesting and more charming weekend. So thank you very much for inviting me in the podcast, Nagesh.
It is a pleasure. And how is the weather now? Is it raining?
Yeah, it was raining few days back, but now it's again because I'm from Rajasthan, Jaipur, right? So again, it's getting a lot of sweat and heat in and around Jaipur. So again, the atmosphere is not that good to hang out and chill out. But yes, at the home, if you sit, then it is a very good environment and weather to enjoy it.
Okay, okay. In Pune again, it started raining, and the forecast said that it will rain for next 2 or 3 days. So look like weekend will be go like this only. Yeah. So coming on onto our topic. So when we talk about mm, topic. So me and Rohit got connected, and Rohit said that let's have a topic which is close to both of us. What does it mean that I am also from testing practice. Rohit is also from testing practice. I am a now agile practitioner. Rohit is also following agile practitioner. So something which is when terms of throughout our journey, when we have heard it many times that testing and agile um, doesn't go hand in hand well, because testing always perform at the end, and there is no requirement of testers and blah blah, all we heard all kind of story, but that's the point of discussion today, isn't it, Rohit?
Yes, exactly true. In my terms, agile is a you can say something which doesn't have emotion, right?
Okay.
In if you work in agile, you don't have space for emotions, right? And in the IT field where we work day and night on the projects, right, with tight deadlines everywhere, everything is there. So quality is the important, you can say check mark, right? So
Right.
no one talks about what are the emotion of the testers, how
Mhm.
mentally they are fit or not fit to deliver the quality of the products, how much pressure they have when we talk about testing in agile, right? Because as you said, testing always comes in a hand, right? And when we start estimating everything, testing goes at the last way of the shoe, right?
Exactly. So
So
that's
that
the
is the most biggest challenge, Nagesh, and I think we will discuss these topics today. And I will try my best to give most of the explanation using some practical examples, which
that
I
will be.
faced, how we
That's
overcome
the
that.
that's the stereotype, or that's the mindset that we want to break. We
Right.
want to make people understand that all the practices are important, you know, and testing is equally important. And agile and testing can go hand in, or should go hand in hand. So
Correct.
let's get on to our episode today. So with our first question, so how the test automation is evolved in agile environment in your experience so far?
Okay. So in my experience, Agile, I already said, right? So Agile changed the way of development, way of testing, and way of understanding everything. Agile
Right,
changed the complete mindset of the industry, right? So when we talk about Agile, right? So Agile means plan everything end to end when you start the work, right? So it evolves for a tester developing with the life cycles, test plan, test cases, everything he have to understand in the initial start of the story, start of the feature, everything, right? So in this term, Agile has brought a lot of automation to the forefront, you can say, right? Because when we talk about the current scenario of the market, right? Market is very choppy nowadays.
right,
Basically, when we talk about the products, correct? Because end-to-end competitions are there. Everyone wants nightly releases, and sometimes you also saw that the market is shifting from web to mobile.
right,
Now everything is moved from websites to mobile apps because hardly people wants to go on laptop, desktop, or do some functionality. Everyone wants quick request and response. So once these type of scenarios come in a picture, right, then agile is the only way where we need to shift
right,
because we
right,
can't create long pathways where SDLC, test life cycle, development life cycle comes first, and uh, thinking, development, then going to validation, verification. So these all are now out of scope. Now everyone wants automation, right?
right,
Now the challenge is if we are going with manual, right? In terms of when we talk about test automation, basically. So when we go about manual, so manual has their own challenges and concern, right? Because if some product which wants to give a nightly releases or weekly releases, okay, so they can't wait for their manual cycle to be performed and do it, right? Because
Hmm.
it takes several days. Automating, sorry, manual doing manual, it will take around days or might possible if it is a complex project or product, right? It can take
Hmm.
weeks also. And when we talk about lot of integration channels, when now products have a WhatsApp notification, SMS notification, be it a payment gateway, ordering system, notification systems. So it is very difficult to manage the team as well as manage and retain those people who are started like journey, who started their journey with the product evaluation or evolution, right? So it is very difficult for the, in that terms, now test automation is evolving in an agile model, right? So whatever work we are doing in a manual testing, right, with the help of test automation in agile, we perform the work of these test cycles from days to hours.
Hmm.
You got my point.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
this shift not only improve the quality of our software, but it is also improving the confidence, right?
Hmm.
Confidence of the product owner, confidence of the stakeholders, confidence of the complete team that whatever we are delivering, we don't have to be wait for a longer period, or we no need to depend on any single person to give response or a single team to give the response that yes, we are ready for a sign off or not. So that's how, as per my thinking, test automation is evolved in agile environment. So automation, be it a web automation, API, mobile automation, these are the different verticals.
Right.
So as an umbrella, we talk about test automation. Yes. So major heartbeat of the testing in Agile is now automation.
Great, great. Yeah, another the thing is like you mentioned about in manual now. So what other challenges like automation, the correctness. If you do lot, maximum portion of your tool is automated or the functionality is automated, the correctness of testing, might, can be improved. In manual intervention, there are chances that a human may miss. There are a lot of chances of human errors. So that's
Yes.
another as benefit of having introduction of automation into your agile projects. So that's one
Correct.
more thing that I want to add. Yeah. Moving ahead. So definitely automation is has to be inbuilt and all that. But there will be challenges, and team will face the challenges. So what are the challenges that you or your team normally face when you're automating your tests in agile?
So the major challenge which I think comes up is when we work in an agile environment, right? And the
Mm,
product start evolving step by step, right? It's a first month, second month to a year. So what happens? The test automation code suits or code base also evolves,
mm,
right? So the major challenge is after a certain time period, it is very difficult for the team to manage that code base.
absolutely.
Okay.
Mm,
Because in agile requirements changes very rapidly and test scripts housekeeping is the very difficult task now because team changes with time, people goes in and out from the project, in and out
mm,
from a company, right? So it is very difficult for the complete team to know which code function is a repetitive function, is a not repetitive. We are writing it again, it is already present in a code or not. So what happens after certain time, lot of code is going to be duplicate. Sometimes housekeeping is not good. Test data going to be very old with time. No one changed the test data of the automation, right? So these are the challenges which start coming into the product of our automation frameworks. Okay. Also, after a certain time, what happens when we start our automation, our vision was not that, you can say, a four, like you can say, for vision means
mm.
like you didn't saw that what we need to achieve down the line after a
Right,
year out.
right.
So what happens after a certain time when a lot of code is already written, right? Then you suddenly, your team suddenly thinks that no, this is not the right technology or that's a not right framework we have designed, correct? Now we have to do refactoring and this refactoring involve a lot of, you can say, cost of the hours, cost
Mm,
of the resources, time. Okay. So this is also one of the challenge. And again, after these challenges are bypassed, third challenge is dependencies on the DevOps, right? Now at time, people are not testers in terms of automation. Now people are going towards test ops, testings plus operations.
operations.
Yeah. So testers needs to understand how whatever I have written into the code, can I integrate it with our CI/CD? If yes, what are the approach? How we can do it? So we need to improve or increase our skill sets, okay, to beat these challenges, right? So let me take an example, practical scenario here, right? So we faced a challenge some time back of maintaining the automation test scripts because UI was frequently changing.
Mm,
Okay. So our scripts was getting failed. After every change, it get failed. Now we have to fix it, rework it, and again. So in Agile, there is a no time of refixing or refactoring, right? Everything should be start from the day one, and it is expected that no rework will be done. In spite of little bit, if something is failing and due to your web locators or something, you can do it, but nothing like you are doing sitting and doing end-to-end code refactoring again after a 3 sprint or 4 sprint,
mm.
right?
You're right.
So now it was challenging for us, like again and again refactoring the code. Then after few sprints, again, some challenges came in. Then what we did, we adapt the modular level of programming, right? So we wrote code something which we segregated our script in term of test components. We created a isolated test components, okay, so that if any specific feature or component got changed, we need to change only that much part of the code. Okay. Also, we made the frameworks more configurable using environment files, configuration files, so that we don't need to touch uh, inside the code. We just need to change the configurations files. So by this, we try to overcome few challenges. And as per me, these are the challenges which usually comes in a test automation when you work in a agile. So that was
Nice.
my point of view.
Good one. Yeah. So now we know that we already discussed actually key manual intervention will take a little bit more time, and automation will help you to fast your test. So some test execution and all that. But how does this test automation has improved or fast your quality assurance um, in a in your experience? How did it help you?
Yeah, so when we start with the test automation, right, from the beginning of the stories or beginning of the features, right? So what usually we sit with the BA,
Hmm.
developer, and
Hmm.
QA. So three
Hmm.
people sit, discuss the things, what we are going to implement, what are the features which we are going to implement, right? Then we discuss with it's something like a concept of agile power of three.
Power of three,
So
yeah, three
we are
amigos.
use
Hmm.
yeah, so
Hmm.
we are using the three different brains to brainstorm what we are going to implement, right? And when we sit and discuss this, then we also discuss as an automation tester, as a tester, what we will cover as a test cases to test these features, right?
Right.
So, so this is one of the point which help us to accelerate. And second thing is when we sit together, right, in agile model when we work, so expectation is that from the initial development, the
Hmm.
QA will pair with the developer or he will write the test cases when the stories started development, right? He will parallelly write the test cases as an automation, right? So basically test-driven development.
Hmm.
Correct. So it will help us to give the early feedbacks
Right.
that yes, till this point you have created this, but our test automation, when we run the test automation, it is saying this is failing, this is not good. So please fix it. So
Hmm.
we are getting early feedbacks also from this.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's take an example where these type of scenario accelerates the quality of the product. When we talk about the mobile apps, right? Mobile apps usually you also have seen that a lot of mobile apps basically whatever we are using in terms of Paytm or let's suppose Book My Show or there are a number of apps which are very rigorous in the market in terms of competition. They
Right.
want every feature to be delivered very fast,
Hmm.
right? So in that case, in this type of the scenario where you have a product, something which you need to deliver at a fast pace, right? You don't sit and wait till the time developer will write the, you can say their feature, then you run the test automation, right? So in this scenario, regular automated smoke tested test cases runs on every check-in of the developer, whatever check-in developer does in the
Yeah.
code base, right? And also parallel when the features are done, right? So at that time, in terms of nightly build, we trigger the overall automation as in regression testing so that we will get the results out of it when teams start join back to the work next day. So we have a lot of things in hand that this is failed, this is passed, right? So these type of process help development team also to see creating a new feature impacted anything in an old feature or not, right? And meanwhile, if we add on the new test scenarios of the feature, that will also execute and we will get a high quality of build out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think uh, that will help us to accelerate, or as an industry, these processes will help to accelerate the deliverables.
Right. Great. That's a great one. Yeah. Another point that came into my mind is like, see, agile is equal to faster delivery. Consider, people
Correct.
think that I've seen lot of product or projects have adopted agile because you can do a iterative and a frequent delivery.
Correct.
So some of the teams even they do the delivery after every sprint. So now bringing all your experience and all these testing practices, how this improve your agile delivery as well. I'm asking about the testing practices that you follow.
Yes. So when we talk about deliverables, right,
Hmm.
in automation, so CI/CD played a very major role here
Hmm.
to increase the quality or automations, which significantly improve the agile deliverables, right? When CI/CD comes in picture, correct? So what happens? CI/CD will be only fruitful if you have a different level of quality checks,
Hmm.
right? It will not alone work if QA will write something and it will go to the CI/CD for, and the quality is not alone a journey of a QA, it's a teamwork, right?
Team effort.
So
Yeah.
so let's
Hmm.
suppose developers write the unit test cases, right? So we have a one quality gate for unit test cases. After that, let's suppose we wrote something, uh, database testing or API testing, right? Then the next channel of the quality check is the API automation. Then third, we are moving to UI automation, right? So these are the quality gates. So
Hmm.
first gate might be your code quality, whether our code quality is matching in terms of build, whatever build is compiled and created. Code quality is there is not. If it is not that good, like a 70% coverage, 80% coverage, right? Then build will automatically fail from there itself. If that checkpoint is passed, then it will go to the unit test cases. What are the unit test cases? Are we written the unit test cases or not? If we have a sonar gate in place,
So
right?
Narcube, yeah.
It will check for the code quality again. Then we will move to unit test. After unit test cases, we can jump to the API automation. What are the results? If API gateway like gate check mark is passed, then we will go to UI automation. So certainly there are number of quality gates a team can create
Hmm.
to increase the quality of the product in Agile, right? So let's take an example where the CI/CD will definitely help us. So when we talk about applications which are integrated with number of systems,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Uh, like giving you some suggestions, then checkout, then payment gateway, then after that is shipping notifications and all, right? So in terms of like when we have a CI/CD in place, right? We can write different type of integration test cases, automated integration test cases, right? Apart from that, we also write some of the test scripts which run regularly on the production to see the heartbeat of these services, whether my shipping services are working fine or not, whether my notification services are working fine or not. So we can write few test scripts which will uh, run our prod environment also and give us regular notification over cloud. You can say cloud flows or cloud watch or whatever notification tool or monitoring tool we are using in our cloud environment, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this type of changes will bring out good quality in Agile, as well as automation will help us to speed up our deliverables.
Great. Yeah. So you did mention about few tools, about SonarQube, and you also said that CI/CD and all that. So I'm really curious to know what are some of the tools that you and your team are using, in this development process.
Yeah, so tools in terms of automation, there are a number of tools. Everything depends on the requirement, right?
Hmm.
Basically, open source is the right demand in the market because when we work on open source, we don't need to invest more amount of money in purchasing the license, right? But again, open source have certain limitations. So paid licenses comes into the picture. But if you talk about few tools, so basically Selenium, which is a globally used automation engine,
Hmm.
be it written in Java, Python, or C Sharp or anything. We can use Jenkins for CI/CD or GitLab, Bitbucket, right? And if you talk about some Java scripting tools, right? So we can move to Playwright, Cypress, Mocha, Jest. There are few frameworks available. And for annotations and checks, right? Assertions, you can use JUnit, NUnit, TestNG as per the flavors. Reporting also available. We have a Cucumber report, we have a extend report, and a lot of reportings are also available, correct?
Right, right, right.
So it depends on the type of development you want to do, whether it is a page object model, simple model, or if you want to go beyond that, like a behavior driven Cucumber model.
Cucumber is there,
So
yes.
yeah, so it depends on the need basis, technology. Sometimes client wants, I want to write the same technology where my development team can also contribute in the test suits, right?
Hmm.
So you need to move those common technologies. Sometime you have a freedom to choose your own technology where you think your team is more capable to deliver fast things.
Hmm,
So
hmm,
it
hmm.
depends.
Great. And what about APIs? Like using any Postman or
Yeah.
mhm,
So API, there are a number of tools. Like if we talk about automation, right? So
hmm.
API, we have a REST assured
Rest
HTTP
assured,
clients
yes.
are
Hmm.
there. We have a Karate JS available, right? And if someone needs to write a very quick collections to automate, he can or she can use Postman as a tool.
Hmm.
Swagger is also available to see and check. So tools are available, different type of tools are there.
Great, great. These are some of the great tools there. So our audience can certainly look into it, and there are
Yeah,
a number of uh, videos available to learn all about all these tools. So I personally
correct.
am a big fan of Postman, as well as there's a tool called Test Cafe, which
Test
gives
cafe.
you, yeah, Test Cafe, to give you a very good coverage in terms of your UI and API automation. So it's a good tool. Certainly, teams can learn from it. So yeah, that's pretty much then. So, coming on to our last question for the day is like there are a lot of people aspiring to become a automation engineer, and so what advice you will give not just to the individuals but as well as teams to adopt automation or adopt in this agile environment, because you confine to maybe a single tester in that entire team, or maybe only a two people team of a tester. So it can be very challenging because you may not get enough support. So what level of advices that you will give to these individuals first and then on the teams?
Okay. So my first advice as an individual, right, to see our strength. What is our
Right,
strength?
right.
Don't jump on multiple tech jingles or tech technologies. First, see what is your strength. Your strength, your technology, your hands-on on any particular language. No need to switch very randomly between Java, C Sharp, JS. First, you have to stick with your concepts.
Right.
Okay. And second thing is, don't think that you have to automate everything in a single day.
Hmm.
What I have seen that lot of people as an individual who are a very good contributor in a team, but they fails to produce the results because they take the pressure that no, I
Hmm.
have to automate, write everything in a single day. They work 12 hours, 10 hours. One thing is this, work will never going to finish.
Hmm.
Correct. Take your time, understand the technology, take the comfort zone out of it. Then you will start thinking a little bit more complex scenarios. To start with, always take the win-win scenario, which will boost your confidence, your concepts. Once you are done with that, then you can go to the more complex scenarios. So now we talk about as a team, how
Hmm.
we can groom or ramp up ourselves, right? So majorly what we have seen in Agile, lots of the team fail to produce output when we work in a test automation model. Correct. That is my particular experience. Reason is everyone wants to automate everything,
Everything.
right? That is not possible.
That is not possible.
So you have to draw a line, what we can automate, correct? And what is the cost of automation for a particular scenario? If let's suppose any test case is there, to automate that test case, I need around 3 to 4 days. But if I sit and manually test it, it's a hardly job of a 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Hmm.
Okay, so now that is not a right option to automate. Second thing, always think what is the major user journey in this product, in this software, which a user or the target user usually runs. So always start to automate those user journeys first. Okay. So always you need to take care what are the user journeys, which usually start and end with when most of the user flows executes. Correct. So you have to automate those user flows.
Right.
And third thing is being a tech lead or a senior tester, guys, who has a lot of responsibility on the shoulder for the product quality, right? They are always in a fear of results.
Hmm.
Like we need to deliver the results. So in the chase of results, they forget about the quality because
Quality.
always from tester it is expected that tester will give the sign off, right? So I think you have to control or think about the controllables,
Hmm.
right? You have to write a good documentation, test plan, test report, coverage matrix, automation matrices, right? Proper peer code reviews. So you need to make your processes a bit strong,
Hmm.
right? So that things will go as a process. If I have a team of 10 testers, right?
Hmm.
Which doesn't have any knowledge about process, everyone is working in his own model, own style, then it is very difficult that you think about the quality.
Exactly. That will be a chaos management, not quality management.
Correct, correct. And one more point which I want to discuss is as an individual, when people are shifting from manual to automation, right? So there are a lot of people who have a fear of coding,
Hmm.
right? How to write, what to write, what are the concepts. So I will recommend them to move to low code, no code platforms.
Hmm.
Okay, there are a lot of low code, no code platforms available for testing. Those guys can move to that. They can learn those platform. Correct. UI path is there, test complete is there, right? Catalan Studio is there. A lot of tools and technologies are available by which they can also come in a automation testing.
Hmm.
So you also can see that now Salesforce is booming,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So people who have a less exposure of writing the automation scripts, right? But they have a good command on manual testing. They can move to CRM technologies like Dynamics 365 or Salesforce or ServiceNow, and they can use the low code, no code tool, right? Like Copado, Prover, and few other tools are there which they can learn easily
Hmm.
and move to automation field. So it is nowadays not necessary that you have to be very hard coder, something like that. And if you have a knowledge of coding also, right, you can
Hmm.
take help of AI available tools like
AI
a
is
Copilot. Yeah,
mm,
Copilot is there. Chat GPT is there. So no harm to take any help. Ultimate goal is deliverable quality bits.
great, great suggestions. Absolutely. So there's enough material available on the internet to learn.
Yes,
There are a lot of people who are willing to help you guys.
correct.
So here we are today. We are concluding our episode. Rohit, it was great to have you on this episode today. It was wonderful discussion. It was so much information to share, and again knowledge. So Rohit, thanks again, and see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you, Nagesh. Thank you for your time.
So to
And
my yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
yeah, so if anybody still have any wants to connect with me or take some inputs, please join me on my LinkedIn. I am always available and I will most of the time try my best to give the resolution of the questions, queries asked to me. So thank you very much, guys. And as Nagesh told, if we evolve as a tester, as a developer, or as a BA, please try to join the meetups which are arranged by different organizations,
communities.
different
Yeah. Mm.
communities, right? So try to go in those meetups, see how people are following the process, how people are working and what are their models, what are their technologies. So you guys will learn a lot of things. So thank you very much, Nagesh.
Pleasure,
And
sir.
that's
Yeah.
it from my side.
So as I always promise, I will provide all the information about Rohit in the description box. You can connect with him, ask the questions. It's always helpful to provide you all your answers to your queries, and you can learn a lot from him, from his team. His team is very active. I know few of his team members. So keep learning, guys, and thank you. If you like the video, please subscribe the video and share with your contacts. Thanks a lot. Namaste.